Okay, today we're going to make a hat. Now, I have here a ruler out. It's about 2 inches. 2-inch thick piece of basswood. For this guy here, here's my pattern. So that this one is 4.5 inches long, just like that says there. Okay. Now this is the side profile of the hat, or brim, not the crown, just the brim. All right. So laying it on the side of the piece of wood, like this. I extended it just a bit here. So it's now 5 inches long. Alright, now when we cut this out, there's going to be a heck of a lot of waste. All this here and that. And you might think, well, why is there so much waste? Why do a hat that way? Well, the grain here runs this direction. So what I'm doing by laying it out and using a thick piece of wood, I'm incorporating the strength of this piece of wood into this brim by having the grain run out straight in the weakest areas, which is here and back here. When I sell a lot of carvings, and when I sell a carving, what I want to do most when I sell it, one of the best things, selling points that I think, is you're going to sell something to somebody that's going to last a long time, that's not going to break very easily, and that's a good point. You know, you don't want to sell something to somebody that's fragile and it's going to break. And when I get through with this hat will not break. I mean, I've dropped them on the floor and everything. Granted, there is a possibility it might break if it gets too much rough handling or dropping or whatever. But this lessens that by 99.9% than trying to, you know, do the hat this way or brim that way. Okay? So knowing the length of this, I drew a circle on this side, and I'll take it over and cut it out on the bandsaw. I'm going to cut out this profile right here, and then I'll cut out the circle, not this circle, this circle. Okay? And I don't need to show you that again. I mean, I've showed you how I cut things out, so we won't go through that again and waste video time. Okay? So I'll be back over here in just a little bit. Okay, got it over here on the saw, and I cut it all out, and as usual, the way I cut these things out is I always leave tags on all the pieces I cut, so I keep the squareness of the block, because when you're running it through a bandsaw, you know, you want it as stable as possible, and by doing it this way, that keeps it that way. Okay, so now all I have to do is pull them off. My knives are still in the kit from when I was carving the other day. Just a second here. Here's a little piece here too. So there you go, here's all our waste here. Now you could save this piece, you could probably use it for something. These other pieces are just scrap. If you're going to carve like I do, there's going to be lots of scrap, believe me. But that scrap comes in handy when it's cold in here, because I start my fires in the winter. Come on, separate. With my scrap. There. And there we have our piece. Okay. Now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to drill me a 1/8 inch hole right here in the center of this thing, because it's going to help me here when I start removing material. Go find my drill over here, find my 1/8 inch bit. And I'll drill it about right there. Got that. Okay. Now we have just a basic circle here. So what I want to do is, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some wood out of here. You'll see what I'm going to do here in just a second. That's about right. So now we go over to the other side of the room, to my grinding station. Okay, now I got my block cut out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my Fordham, and it's got a pretty massive carbide tipped bit on here. And I'm going to hog out these two areas over here. Okay? First thing I want to do is I'm going to screw this down to my table. I put me some blocks in here to kind of just help hold it in place. So I'll push it up against those blocks as tight as I can. I want that thing anchored in there so it ain't going to move. I think that's as good as I'm going to get it. I'm going to put me on a real heavy rope leather glove. Get my foot pedal out here, find out which one it is. Come on, which one is it here? Okay, finally found out which foot pedal operates which one. As you can see, I've got grinders laying all over the place over here. I do use other things other than my old reliable knife. I'm going to have to turn on the vacuum, so it's going to get noisy. Okay, you can see what I'm doing here, so I'm not going to put you through the punishment of listening to this thing grind wood. Anyway, I'm going to cut these pretty deep, and that'll just help me when I take it over to the carving station to start removing the other excess wood. Okay, so once I finish here, we'll pick it up again. Okay, now comes the hardest part of this, is chipping out this center area. I don't think you need to watch all this, so we'll come back after I get it all carved out of here. Okay, I've kind of cleaned out this area over here. Getting ready to do this area over here, but I want to show you, because of grain structure, the break on this wood, well, the grain's going through here like this, okay? So the break is about right here, right there. So you'll see that I really haven't carved much beyond that. I'm going that way right now. So when I go to start doing this over here, I have to turn it around and go this way. And that's just what you have to do. So I'll continue taking this out. I want a kind of a rolled over appearance. Let's see here. Let's cut it in. Hard work. I had to go turn on the air conditioner. Okay, now I can turn it around and I can go back this way. So carving down now, this line has moved forward. Now it's about in here. So you can see where it's kind of tearing the wood instead of cutting it cleanly. So you just have to, adjust your gouges. If you push too hard, you'll get a split. See, I went beyond where I went before. Or else if the grain's turned on me in there. There we go. That's looking pretty good. Okay, so we've got that basic inner shape of the hat done. So now what we do is we switch over to our knife. And again, you're going to hit that same kind of problem back here. You can't go in like that or you're going to split off the whole side. You have to turn your knife around and go back the opposite direction. Or you're going to have a problem. Okie doke. Now let me go get a hat, and I'm going to show you what we're trying to do. Okay, I'll be right back. Okay, here's my old hat. Me and my horse Boomer, we covered a lot of miles with me wearing this hat. He's gone now, but I'll tell you, there's a lot of memories in this hat, as my breaking voice will tell you. Anyway, we've carved out this area here, carved out that area there. Now what we're doing, you can see the shape of the pattern here. It's kind of turned up back here, but you can see the basic shape of the pattern here. It comes forward, just basically just straight down. Back here it just has just a slight curve to it. Alright, so what we want to do now is we want to get the sides cut in. We've got that round area back here, which is pretty well we're going to leave that alone. Now what we're going to do is we're going to narrow this front down just a little, okay? Alright, so to do that, we just start right in here. Be careful right up in here because that's where that grain breaks. So you have to turn it around and come back the opposite direction. There, see, we've got that. We can put a little curve in there just to give it a break up that line a little, make it look a lot better. Like that, looks good. One of the hardest things to learn in wood carving is grain and how it affects your knife strokes. Once you learn to handle it, you've got, let's say, about 80% of the problem taken care of. See, I can take these big chips because I know everything's going to fly off that direction. As long as I don't take a deep cut, you know, I don't have to worry about it up here. Just keep your eye on what's going on. There, see, almost made a boo-boo there. Forgot that grain. have it turn out there like that. See how it goes out like that? Use my gouge again to keep that sharp line. Same over here. Well, it looks good. So now we can turn her over. Wouldn't it be great if he could be ambidextrous? But I sure ain't. Now here's where all that lining it up with the grain comes in handy. See, I can take chips now, and I don't have to worry about screwing up the front of my brim here. I can get it down to where it looks like it's real thin, and because it's bent over like that, see there? It looks like it's real thin. You don't actually see how thick it is. It's actually pretty thick right in there, but it doesn't look thick. Back here on the back, we can do the same thing. Everything comes off real easy because of the way we laid out that pattern on the piece of wood. Now you can get a palm gouge, or a very shallow gouge, and you can just go right across and kind of sink the interior. See how it goes down here? Just sort of a shallow arc. Cutting across grain like that, it's a pretty easy thing to do. There, we're running into that. See how it's tearing there? We're starting to hit the grain, so you have to be careful. Now we have to go back this way. So right in here is where they meet. So naturally, you always hit that problem. Almost no matter what kind of carving, what you're trying to make, you're going to hit that same problem all the time. You just have to learn how to handle it. Alright, let's see what we got here now. See, starting to look pretty good. So the next step, I don't know how much time we used, I think we've used quite a bit. I'll tell you what I'm going to do next, but I'm not going to show you. I'm going to carve in these areas a little bit more to get rid of some of this. I mean, I want to keep this out here, but I'd like to get this a little deeper right in here, so I get my real sharp lines up top here. But after that, what we do is we take the head, we put it on the hat, and we adjust it to where it looks the best, which looks like it's just about like that. We want the hat coming forward over outside his head up the same distance as it does back in the back, so we can move it forward just a little bit. That looks good. And then we center it. We want to get it in the middle. Just about like that right there. Hold her down. Get your pencil. And you want to draw right around where that head meets the wood. Don't move on me, please. So there's the outline of his head right there, okay? Now in the next video, because we're going to have to cut this one because I think it's getting kind of long. We will do this indentation that makes it look like he's actually wearing his hat. I mean, you can all already see. Hang on here, I'm going to fix that in just a second. Line his head up again. Come on, be nice to me. Give me a piece of 1/8 inch dowel. There. That looks kind of thick in there. I might shave that down a little too. But you can see where we're going. Okay? So that's going to be it for this video, and the next one, like I say, we'll set his head into that hat and then do the brim, or the crown. So until then, I'll talk to you later.